we're going to have to update it. The ticker is like, as the weird sort of kind of stuff. Because it's the premiere last year. That's not about 5 on that. Well, remember, we had to reload the program. Yes, because it's in the series. It's in 43, so, but not everybody knows. Chapter 30. Wait, hold on. Go back to race options. Yeah, okay, that's good. Go to weather. Alright.
Yep.
And then, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's got it. Their track maps are broken as hell right now.
For you, yeah.
There are a lot of people they are. I think one of them, Sebring to Chicagoland.
Oh, that's good. It's a
Nobody's
good
watching.
bug.
Unless that itself is broken.
Well, we haven't even really started yet or told anybody that we're live, so.
I already did. Trying to just put O.
Okay, so you need to remember that the 29 car is not Connor. It is
Oh, that's gonna be difficult.
yeah.
If anybody is watching currently, if you guys can say in the FARCA series chat on Facebook how the audio sounds, help us out with hearing our voice and hearing the cars. Because we're going to need it right now. Ah, it's so much better. Okay. Don't need overtake events. I do want pit events. I do want flag events.
Good deal, man.
Do you have letter action cars?
No.
And Ernesto, can you hear us now? Ernesto. Papa Honesty.
Yeah, it's working.
Awesome.
Yeah, just you got to give them. You started practice, so you got to give them a few more minutes.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Because they work on their setups, so you have to actually give them time.
Go ahead.
Well, use the time to familiarize yourself with who's in that car.
Yeah.
Because I'm still going to get confused between the 09 and the 29.
Yeah. So retrofit a Pauli.
And the 7 car, what team is this?
Spire.
Spire. So we're actually, I gotta get used to the teams as well as too. So return of the Valvoline Pro Series after nearly what is this,
Decade.
is it a decade?
No, it's been a decade since it's been VPS.
We had that Gen 4 series and just dirt races. Watched the car flip in the sand race there. Did the series I got my first win in. So me and Adam run the Premier Series. This is Adam's series specifically. I'm still one of the manage the trucks. So bear with us. Everything went through updates, and we should be good. The car sometimes we run the practice laps.
You're gonna wanna you go to the 20 car because Christian's gonna want to take it to the car.
Yeah.
Because he specifically requested for delivery. So.
Touching that nice SKF Chevrolet. Racing
For Brent Cruz's Real Motorsports, this will be the first race for that team. And we'll be seeing them tomorrow night as well in the Premier Series with Brent by himself. It's a Chevrolet.
A little bit of part-time racing last year in the truck series. Now they've gotten their feet wet and are ready to attack all 3 series.
Yes, and they partnered with Chevrolet, and Chevy's going to be sponsoring the 4 car as a teammate to Dylan Touchton in this series. It is Austin Yoakum. Yoakum is a familiar face in the FARCA racing series.
Check up on the Yoakum. Currently just sitting on pit road, and that beautiful Chevrolet is obviously racing.
So in the Valvoline Pro Series, every car, of course, is partnered with Valvoline. But there are 2 cars that are primarily sponsored by Valvoline, the 5 of Miguel Reyes and the 1 car of Thor Gunderson.
Thor, after taking a couple seasons off, returns. Nice to see him back here. Also back in his number 1.
Yes.
So this will be, I have high hopes, and I anticipate a lot out of that driver this year.
Yeah, so there are 29 cars in the series right now. There's many more spots for drivers to join. There's few teams set up right now, though. A lot of multi-car teams. There's a couple single-car operations, and then a few 2-car operations. This is Exalta Revolutions per Motorsport for the 1 car. They have 5 entries this weekend. There, of course, is not a car limit in VPS, but we certainly don't want the whole field to be taken up by 1 team. So as the season progresses, in our first season back with the series, we'll hope to see new entries.
Sweet.
Yep.
How's that, Connor? Mic check it.
It's a microphone. It works.
I believe so.
Am I loud? Am I nice and loud now?
But is there like a buffer right here? Can you just like move that over to the right or something?
No, that's actually what this is, and they're currently maxed. These have pretty gnarly filters on them.
I see.
Connor says it's better. Awesome. I'll turn the desktop volume down just a little bit. That should help that out.
Go to the 17. 7.
Un 7.
Domino Dublington.
Yes. And Change It Racing. This is going to be a new venture for Aaron and Adam Douglas. It's going to be a team for just the 2 of them in every series but the Premier Series.
So we decided that, along with everything going on, despite with also Valvoline on their own, we have our own venture going on with this race team where we want to just focus on better for the environment products. So this is the effort for FARCA for being sustainable.
Yeah, and so in the VPS, it'll be Aaron and Adam Douglas. It could end up being the 2 of them in the truck series as well, which we'll be seeing next week. but they kind of need to get more financial. They need to get more assets before they can go to other teams or other series.
And for the car for Aaron, Castrol is the primary sponsor on that number 12 car for him as he starts to make a couple practice laps. Currently 15th in the practice session.
Of course, we mentioned previously that every car is partnered with Valvoline. So this is Castrol's. It's their sustainable program, but it's more centered towards their wind plants that they are building there. Castrol has a program going on where they're going to build about 3 million wind turbines around the world to try to help the energy offset.
And did you mention their biosynthetic oil?
Yes.
And eventually the advanced extended performance oil that they do provide will eventually be taking over the biosynthetic lineup, and that will just be incorporated into their oil as a standard feature of Castrol's oil. And that is going to be the new ages of oil of being pure synthetics oil.
Yeah, they're certainly trailblazers in that department. As we see, Austin Yoakum was sort of working on the 12 car of Aaron Douglas. He's on another run. We saw him going into the pits earlier for some adjustments. So they're hoping that they can get some more speed out of the car. They didn't move up the leaderboard with that lap.
It stayed pretty much about the same. Someone we haven't mentioned yet. Current fastest car on the track is the 09 car of Justin Franklin, sponsored by Ghost Energy.
Yeah, so this is a last-minute deal on the 09 car. They had another sponsor lined up for the season, but ran into some financial issues pretty close to the start of the season. So Ghost jumped on to be the primary sponsor of both the 09 and the 29 car. So this week they have similar liveries, but as the season goes on, they'll certainly never have the same scheme in the same race in future races.
And just to reiterate, since we have people now watching, the green that you guys see on some of these cars is an indicating of the Valvoline Next Gen, similar to what we have when this originally was the Valvoline Pro Series many years ago. So if you see the green on the cars, those are their rookie drivers. And there will be another one towards the end of the season to signify drivers who were in the race-offs.
Yeah, so the green banners, since this is our inaugural season, it's going to be drivers who are new to FARCA. So while there is many of the drivers in this field never raced in the VPS in its previous iteration, we decided to give the regular red banners to everyone who's raced in FARCA before, and then the green banners will go to people who are new to FARCA altogether.
All right. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Check back in. Oops. Watching Justin Franklin. Ta-da! Making his first lap around. That will put him in, I believe, the 11th spot. I'm getting a call by the team owner of the driver going on. Connor, what's up? Oh, okay. I know why.
Going into turn number 3 now, Justin Franklin's looking to try to compound on his lap,
I know
get the
exactly
most that
why.
he
Hang on
can
just 1 second.
out of the last corner as he comes to complete his first lap.
Okay, bear with us for a second. Can you hear us now on it? All right. I'm going to go back to the other one then while it's doing that.
So as Frickin completes his last lap, that's going to put him in
11th.
the 11th position. So now it's 15.
He's dropping. And current fastest on the track is Austin Yoakum.
Which is no surprise for those who have followed around in the VPS series through the testing. In the off-season, Yoakum and Touchton have been very fast.
Awesome.
So it's no real surprise.
Can you hand me my AirPods? You're going to just stay on the call for me during this. Please. Okay, I'm going to mute myself.
Alrighty.
So Austin Yoakum, Brad Smith, Jeff Cannon, Anissa Johnson, and Nawad Patwary are going to be your top 5.
Let's go ahead and take a look at this fastest lap. I don't have the lap control. I need a way of doing that. So this is Austin Yoakum's replay for his lap time. This is going to be the pole position.
So he's just a lane up off the bottom through 1 and 2.
And just to, his lap time was a 33.06. And the difference between 1st and 10th, 33.14. And that actually goes all the way down to 13th. These cars are very close in time.
It's a little bit slower from earlier in the day. Of course, the cars weren't able to follow as close together as we wanted. So we got a little bit lucky with the weather kind of heating up, but should have a lot closer racing tonight as we get into the actual session versus the testing earlier.
So, and also the track should get faster, especially since the sun's going down. And as everything loads in.
This is going to get pretty nostalgic reading the names as you go through.
Oh, I bet it's going to.
There's a lot of good names in the lineup.
All right, here we go. On pole, just bear with us, got to refresh. Austin Yoakum, he'll be starting side by side with Brad Smith.
And in row number 2 is Jeff Cannon in the 92 Splunk Toyota to the inside of Anissa Johnson.
Anissa Johnson driving for the Rebel Racing.
Yes, and behind them we have Nawad Patwary for Ben Thomas's Reckless Racing. The Brant Chevrolet to the inside of Pietro Fittipaldi in the Hendrick Cars Spire Motorsports Chevy.
And Miguel Reyes starts next to Dylan Touchton.
And then behind them we have Cody Erickson making his first start to the inside of Mitchell De Jong. We want to welcome Mitchell De Jong back to the series. Old participant, so it's good to see him back around, especially in the VPS.
And, that's another classic name. Carson Scott starting next to Jack Wood in the 24 car.
Now he's going to start to the outside of Adam Douglas. Scott's in the 8 Tire Pro Chevrolet.
Whoops.
And Adam in the Innovative Green Technologies Ford Mustang. And then they, of course, are in front of Jack Wood in the 24 City Chevy for Ben Thomas's Reckless Racing to the inside of the 83 of Rick Johnson.
And then we have Nick Fountain and his Ghost car starting side by side with the other Ghost car, Justin Franklin, who we watched during the qualifying session.
This gets your first look at the primary Ghost livery for this year that we'll be seeing across the 3 series. So the 29 car for most of the races will be carrying this liveries, but of course we will still see our usual special paint schemes out of the Ghost department.
And then Brendan Berg, he'll be starting next to Kyle Fowler, JGL Racing.
It's so nice to see Brandon Berg not only back in the 38, but with his Verizon sponsor on the car. So they'll be starting in front of the one of Thor Gunderson to the inside of Aaron Douglas.
And right behind him, John West Art, rocking back here in his Zaxby's 05. Good to see a nice return of that again. Brent Cruz, This is for JGL Racing. You might notice that car.
Trackhouse. That is a Trackhouse
Yeah.
car.
Yep. I just made Connor mad about that, I'm sure. So Brent Cruz here in his Toyota. This is not his actual car. He will be fielded back in a Ford with his primary sponsorship. The car, Holler was actually involved in a fire. This is a loaner car from an Xfinity Series team. We use the exact same cars as far as body-wise goes. So they just threw the body on another chassis and he'll get to race.
And so behind them is Russ Blackwell for Red Bull TXS Racing. To the inside of a sister car, the 56 of Scott Vickers. Scott Vickers was originally only supposed to run the VPS series, but a driver got in trouble in the Premier Series, and so Scott Vickers is actually going to be in the 09 car for Mir Toyota Racing.
Interesting.
It's a very good break for Scott Vickers.
Teammates side by side, JJ Yeley with JGL Racing starts next to Mike Wallace in his Reynolds Wrap Ford.
And they'll be starting in front of Alfred Dunn for Manco Motorsports to the inside of the Rick Ware Racing 52 Insurance King Ford Mustang of Bailey Curry.
And right behind him, also with Rick Ware Racing, this is James Davison and his Skip Barber number 51. And of course, both of those JGL guys and the Rick Ware guys, all rookies.
It's very good to see James Davison getting some racing in this season.
Yeah. All right, back towards the front. And we're currently awaiting for the commands for these guys to get fired up.
And you guys might have noticed that there are 3 different AlphaTauri fashion cars. Of course, you can easily denote which was which by the roof number color and the spoiler. It might be a little bit difficult at first to tell them apart, but between Smith, Erickson, and the 3 car, I need to remember his name. It'll get pretty easy between the light chartreuse, the pink, and then the orange roof numbers.
All right, so let's start getting ready to go racing.
Russ Blackwell's in the 3.
Homestead, Miami Speedway. It is a hot 91 degrees here tonight with a lot of humidity. Thankfully, low wind or these cars would be spinning out like crazy. This is the first Valvoline Pro Series race of the season. They have a 20 race schedule, if I remember that correctly. That's more races than the Premier Series.
And on Friday nights, though. So not to take any thunder away from the big one.
So this will definitely be awesome. We look forward to seeing all of these races as the lights and the pace car are out. We're heading towards the end of the backstretch. We await Austin Yoakum to take the green.
So,
Connor was different playing Modern Warfare.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to have mostly night races in the VPS for Friday nights. And we're going to have a very quick elimination playoff. 4 races, 4 drivers get eliminated every race.
There we go. That'll be fun.
Yep. So pace car is off. We're about to get the season underway for the Valvoline Pro Series.
The first laps of the FARCA 2022 Championships. Austin Yoakum leads us to the green. That AlphaTauri car right to his outside. We're going 3 wide immediately in the first turn.
Yeah, it's going to be critical to see what kind of run the 2 gets off. He's kind of stalling out on the outside. That's going to allow Yoakum to secure the lead here. It's a long race, but you really want to keep draft of the leader.
Yeah. Field still stays nice and bunched up, though. We've got 3 wide right here, right towards the center. That Valvoline car, the 5, Miguel Reyes.
See the 17 car of Adam Douglas trying to make some quick moves here in the beginning of the race.
Lots of 3 wide, stacked up multiple lanes back here. This is why we wanted to go for Homestead as the opening race, because it was such a great race last season with tons of passing, and it was acting like it was a super speedway.
Yeah, historically, FARCA has had so many great races at Homestead, so it's just the perfect start to the season for us.
We're on board right now with Cody's number 6. Wow, you saw Adam got really loose there entering that corner.
Yeah, you'll see some guys doing that in the middle of the corner.
Up at the front, Austin Yoakum, still your leader, led every lap so far.
It's nice to actually see that shed accessory scheme up front, not buried deep in the field in the Premier Series.
He's got quite a good pace over Brad Smith right behind him.
Yeah, Connor Meir, who's the owner of Red Bull TXS Racing, had very high hopes for Brad Smith's return. Not a lot of people really did, but Connor's always believed in him, and so it was like a no-brainer for him to rehire Smith to come to this team for the VPS series.
I mean, I wouldn't say he hasn't not been successful. He's always showed that he has the definite ability to be a winning race car driver. He's had a lot of consistency, and he's not a driver that gets involved in a lot of wrecks.
Right.
So keeps your cars clean.
He does have one top 10 in the Premier Series to his name in the history of this FARCA, but it's been a while since we've seen him.
Not talking about him, but he's been up here this entire time. That's Jeff Cannon in the number 92 car for Splunk. I believe that's the same affiliate.
Yeah, so this is the parent team for Mir Toyota Racing. Yeah, we've seen that Splunk's been a long-time partner for them over the past 3 years. So for them to jump to primary in VPS is pretty significant. Running up in front of the 9 car, it's now with Pat Wary. Brought into FARCA by Richie Mancha. So the 9 Brent Chevrolet. Running a throwback to one of the early Justin Allgaier Brent paintings at Turner Motorsports.
Watch this car going into the corner. Look at the yaw that the thing has.
Yeah, so you can see that they have quite a bit of height to the front of the car, and when it gets under load, it's going to lean more to the right side, but they've got a lot of air coming underneath the car.
Judging by how that thing can still be nice and bouncy, they don't have a lot of spring in that car at all either. So that's a very classic way of setting up a race car. You usually only see the older guys, the veterans, who typically set their cars up like this.
See Jack Woods moving backwards towards the rear of the field. So he might be in the wall. Aaron Douglas to his inside right here.
See if we can see any damage to his car. It looks like it's clean.
Yeah.
He's
lost 6 positions so far.
And we got to give some attention to it because this happens a lot with this specific driver. This is Russ Blackwell, number 3 car. He has gained 9 positions since he has started this race, and he has broken himself into the top 15 as Trackhouse's Brent Cruz looks to his inside.
I saw Blackwell's making a good move, but he just got loose in the middle of 3 and 4. Lost a lot of momentum. That allowed Brent Cruz to reclaim that position.
Blackwell, who used to drive the Lucas Oil Chevrolet in the Premier Series, suffered a major crash, and he had a little bit of a hiatus. It's good to see him not only run the Premier Series again, but he ran for FARCA Fest, and now he's got a full-time position in this AlphaTauri sponsored number 3 car.
See the number 05 car has moved up to the 11th spot from 22nd. Dylan Touchton's falling way back. Lost 17 spots so far in the 20 car.
Yeah, he's having a rough time. I wonder if he has damage. If any driver does, it might be him.
His teammate is leading the race. It's kind of strange to see that he's fallen so far back.
Yeah, Aaron just had a huge problem too, and that car has lost several positions within the last couple laps. That car looks clean to me. He might just be struggling with the setup. Maybe they set it up for daytime.
Yeah.
Because this is a day-to-night race. So, or maybe it's set up for the night portion. As he makes a little bit of contact there with the 56 of Scott Vickers. Those cars right now, 3 wide with Aaron.
They've also sort of faded towards the back since the start of the race.
Yeah, this whole field has shuffled. It's still very early on. The sun will go down. We'll see whose cars come alive and who can set their cars up for both of them. Our top 3, though, still remains entirely unchanged. It is Yoakum, Smith, and Cannon. You can see him there, Pat Wary and Reyes. This is our top 5. Currently a 1 second lead for Yoakum over Brad Smith.
It might be a little bit difficult for them to draft up at this point, with the tires starting to get a little bit of wear in them. Of course, we should just get a new tire model, so.
Yes. So everything could be changed.
Yeah, it just kind of throws everything for a loop, and you end up playing the guessing game.
During the testing, Goodyear brought us pretty reliable tire to guess what the strategy will be. And the week before we got to this race, they brought entirely new sets. So that kind of threw everybody's notes out the window from all the testing we did pre the season.
Yeah, it's just plays a little bit of catch up, trying to get the cars to run close together. You want to keep the speed in them, but
And this one right here, Nissa Johnson, driving for Rebel Racing. Was one of the primary drivers for Western Auto Racing a few years ago. And she drove for Redline a little bit. And now she is in both the Valvoline Pro Series and the Premier Series for Rebel Racing.
Six car just had a big moment trying to get around her.
Let's see if we can actually just peek a little bit back at that. See, right here as he goes into the corner, he's got a good arc right up here.
It just gets tight on him. You can see that.
You get tight, you'll see a little bit of a bobble too.
Yeah, because, I mean...
Right there, he's turning right there. He's turning into it.
Yeah, because, I mean, as soon as he got close to the back of the 84 car, the air started to compact and just got tight.
Well, good save by him for not letting that get out of hand. Current biggest mover on the track, John Wizard.
He's looking on his teammate. He's got two teammates.
All around him. This team's having a pretty solid run. The only one that's actually all of them are having a good run. Mitchell DeYoung is staying right where he's at. And John's gained 10 positions and Thor 7. So this is probably about right where this team is ought to be performing then.
Yeah, they just they hope to get their other two teammates, Brendan Berg and Carson Scott, back up to them. Of course, this is Exalta Revolutions for Motorsports. They picked up the sponsorship from Exalta in the off season. We'll see their Premier Series cars tomorrow will be all decked out in the Exalta colors.
Also under the lights.
Yes.
They look great. And another thing too, Western Auto Racing is going to be having a one race throwback. And they will be racing Western Auto and Parts America cars. Wrapped up in Darrell Waltrip throwbacks. And cars will look really good too. Got the permission for Aaron's car to be the all chrome Darrell Waltrip car.
With some bright red numbers.
It would be awesome. As John Massart picks up another spot now with his teammate letting him go on by. A little team shuffling here. This that puts about 11 positions gained in the field.
Yeah, the Western Auto guys are a little bit concerned. They know they had a lot of speed last year, but the performance in the Premier Series is so much tighter over the course of the offseason.
It will be interesting.
Yes, and I mean the Western Auto cars have struggled really hard in testing. Only one of them has scored a top 5 in all the testing. That's Dylan Young. So
what's been going on in the rumor mill to help out with the changing in how level that the performance is getting is doing something sort of similar to what F1 does and putting a limit to parts.
yeah, I don't know if that's really the answer, but I mean it's
It
certainly
could provide strategy. At least.
it's certainly a strategy that people can go with times. But I mean when you have a level playing field, it's like a spec series, and it's so much fun that way. Everybody, it's just matters on the drivers.
It's very true.
That's what FARCA used to be too. Is everybody was in equal cars, and it just mattered who was behind the wheel.
And that is also what the truck series is. It is entirely hands off by the team. FARCA builds the cars with a different manufacturer, and they just hand them off. And what you get is what you get.
Yep.
We look forward to that. They are not racing this weekend, otherwise they would already be on track right now. The race would already be done. They will be showing their faces next weekend, and they have shifted over to more Speedway style schedule versus the short tracks that they did last year. And that was a decision made due to poor ratings and by how good the final race was when they attended the race at Atlanta. And our finale this year, typically we rotate out with Texas and Atlanta, but due to the new Atlanta track, we will be trying out Atlanta 2 years in a row.
And this season for the Premier Series will probably be the last season with the current car. We expect to be upgraded to the next gen cars for the next season.
The other talk as well is doing a series with the Gen 4 cars. We still have a bunch of those that are just kind of sitting around in the warehouse. And we would like to put something together with those to do a very small, like a 6-race series that just allows any driver that wants to enter in and just have fun racing.
This is the 17 car out of Douglas, currently running in the 6th position. Not very many cars around him at the moment.
Lots of clean air. He's got about a second gap in front of him from Miguel Reyes, and then Mr. Johnson is behind him.
John Arndt has got around his teammate Thor Gunderson, so that moves John to the top 10. Of course, it looks like Mitchell de Jong actually fell behind both his teammates.
Right, and you see that they're actually staying still really nice and close. They've caught Rick Johnson, which is his teammate, and let's see if he puts a move onto Rick.
And Dylan Touchton's made it back to the 19th spot, so it looks like the car might be set up more towards the long run.
It's so good to see John racing again.
Yes, it's been a while since we've seen John Arndt around.
And
Texas native.
Unlike the 9 car running absolutely no tape, you can see this car synced up all the way on the right hand side. And it looks like from that peak of Thor Gunderson behind, the team was running the exact same setup.
Yeah, it makes sense for the Revolution Super Motorsport. They want to have as much downforce as they can. So they're going to be running more tape versus other cars.
Pretty simple filed out. Drivers are nice and relaxed. Let's go ahead and go through your top 5. Austin Yoakum, who's led all 25 laps so far, remains your race leader. Brad Smith right behind him has Jeff Cannon trailing right behind him with Noah Atwari, and Miguel Reyes rounds out the top 5 in that number 5 car. Going to take away from the remainder of the top 10.
Yes, then we have Adam Douglas in the 6th spot, just kind of hanging out. And Anissa Johnson behind him, falling from her 4th place starting spot. The 84 car is just trying to gather things up, trying to make another run towards the front. Behind her is Cody Erickson, the 6th AlphaTauri Toyota. This is teammate Rick Johnson, who is in front of John Arndt and Thor Gunderson. Ford is currently in the 11th spot, but they're hoping to leapfrog the 83 car to get 2 RPM cars inside the top 10. They've fallen. How far back are they? They are entering turn 1. Yoakum's on the front stretch, so
Lap traffic approaching soon. Rick Ware Racing Cars, Bailey Curry, and James Davidson. Alfred Dunn also back there.
yeah, Dunn is almost 28 seconds back from Austin Yoakum. So the 4 car of Austin Yoakum is just trying to get as much experience as they can to build up their knowledge for this car. Of course, they very much enjoy leading the race. But, of course, we'll have a caution between laps 33 and 34 to re-rack the field for the second half of the race. We should expect to see pit stops. It'll be pretty interesting to see how that shakes up the field. Because we've got a battle for 3rd right now between the 92 and the 9. 9's trying to put the pressure on Jeff Cannon for the 3rd position.
Using that outside lane, we actually haven't seen that much tonight. Everybody's been running on the inside, so people are now starting to try and strategize a little bit. We'll see. Ooh, he gets shuffled out. He might have scraped the wall there just a little bit. Some defensive driving from Jeff Cannon. That was a good move, and Miguel's going to try and capitalize on it.
Yeah, of course, these are teammates, so we shouldn't see too much fighting between the two of them, but You never really know, especially when it's your first race back for these two guys.
You know, for Cannon being a rookie, that was a veteran block.
Yeah, it was. It was a good move to defend the position, just give him barely enough room where he's only got one place to go.
And Owen staying pretty persistent on utilizing this outside lane. He remains up top.
It's just not quite working for him. Doesn't have the grip that he needs to hold it.
Maybe if he had newer tires, if he tried this earlier on in the run, that would probably change the entire dynamic of this. But who knows? And this could still get better as the sun continues to go down. Not bad by him.
Vanessa Johnson has fallen behind Cody Erickson now.
Two other racing drivers together with the team behind him as well.
Brent Cruz is looking on Russ Blackwell back in the 14th spot. Blackwell coming back to the 99 car.
Catching up to Fittipaldi. Alright, so this will be the halfway yellow. No competition caution.
It's just a chance to re-rack the field, get them closer together at the halfway point. Give them a chance to come down pit road. See who will come and who won't. You should see the whole field, but you never know. I mean, this is just right at the edge of the fuel run, so with caution, you can save fuel and make it to the end without coming in.
So this is where strategy can all come into play. Whether, like you just talked about with the fuel run, obviously tires are degraded right now. If the track possibly getting cooler and cooler, this is your opportunity to make a pass.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have 33 lap fresher tires than everyone else, so you almost have to pit.
Right. We'll watch the leader as he shuffles in and falls in line. We'll see what he ends up doing. Stays out for now. The pit road will be open when they come back around.
I think it was open this time, they just didn't come down.
I would be surprised if they didn't. We're halfway into the race.
Yeah, like I said, I think that they think that they're good on fuel. They'd rather just go with what they have. But somebody's got to say that. I mean, we're
this
here.
is your opportune time to do a strategy call and at least try something. If you're already towards the back, and
especially when no one else pits, just take the chance. Can't turn away 33 lap fresher tires.
Exactly.
It's a skill issue.
Well, we will find out. See if anybody has any takers. That car's potentially ducking in.
They've got to come in, but they're not going to.
They're not gonna. Nobody will pit.
Well, even have halfway breaks if you're not going to take them.
Right? they finally fixed this. This strategy actually shows now.
That's good.
Oh gosh. Have we checked the fuel window?
Yeah, the fuel window is 60 to 65 laps. If you get a caution, it goes right to the end. But those
I was
who
hearing a theorized from one of the team owners, they might actually have to pit right at the end of the race.
if they push, they have to pit. Even with the caution. So it depends on who's saving their tires, saving their fuel.
Alright, we are lined up side by side with the lights and the pace car out. We'll be going green this time around.
I don't want another Chicagoland where
Yeah.
people just pit with on the last lap and it just messes up the whole order. So
Certainly can. Hopefully not this time.
So as the field comes through turns 3 and 4, we're at Austin Yoakum leads Brad Smith. Behind them is 92 of Nick Cannon, the 5 of Miguel Reyes, then now with Pat Larry and Adam Douglas. And as we see, behind them is the 6 of Cody Erickson and Anissa Johnson, then Rick Johnson and John Arndt.
His car's now on pit road. We await the Geico restart zone.
And we're back to racing. To see what kind of run Smith can get on the outside. He's a lot closer this time versus the initial start. Just come through 1 and 2. Someone's way
That's
low.
wailing inside. That was Rick Johnson, the 84 car.
Some cars are really shuffled on the outside.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Oh, Alpha
Oh,
Tauri's
it's
car's
contact. That could have ended bad for the 6 and the 2.
It's Erickson and Brad Smith. They'll both suffer from that. As you can see, they've already fallen quite a few positions. Jeff Cannon moves to second place.
Cannon not letting the 4 car go just yet. This rookie is trying to get around him.
Yeah, now Cannon's got Yoakum in his sights, just trying to pull the trigger on him.
Can somebody take the lead from the dominant car of Austin Yoakum?
Dylan Touchin's now up to 11th place in the restart. That's a good move for the 20 car, just trying to wait for the halfway break to start to make their moves.
Right. Keep an eye on Thor Gunderson, up 11 positions in this race. He's fighting side by side with Spires Pietro. As he had a very bad corner entry, he's going to drop right here, right up with his teammates. John Westart, Adam Douglas. Adam having a really good run tonight.
Yeah, but they kind of were put in a bad spot on that restart. Seemed to get a little loose on the top of the 05 car.
Looks like he was trying to side draft off him in the corner, and it's going to work. He's going to make the pass. That will move him inside the top 10. Ooh, an immediate bad corner entry. He's going to lose all the positions he just got.
See Nick Fountain working on the 26 car.
3 wide currently with him in the JGL Racing car.
Carson Scott is going to try. No, he got tight.
Ooh. Scott held on to it. Now he's got Ghost all around him.
It's the Sam Darnold effect.
He gets a good run into the corner with help of the 3 car. That's Russ Blackwell. They're going to tighten it up right here. Oh,
And now they're starting to slide.
lost it.
They got tire degradation going on. It's starting to slide all over the place.
A 3 wide backs out. Still right here. They're still 3 wide. That's Anissa Johnson, the 84 car, right in the middle. Makes contact. That's car owner Aaron to the inside. A lot of action right here in the middle of the pack.
But Dylan Touchton is now square in the top 10 as he's in 9th place now. Pietro Fittipaldi's in 8th.
Almost back to where they started. And Rick Johnson's recovered a little bit after that bad restart. Just chilling out in the 7th spot. Right behind Brad Smith.
Just didn't quite work out the same way for Anissa.
She's lost 15 positions tonight. That is the worst in the entire field. And still, nobody has been able to make the pass on Austin Yoakum. Cannon tried to challenge, but doesn't quite have the speed right now.
Yeah, that 4 car is on a league of its own tonight. Of course, they've been that way all throughout testing. Pritchard's got a really strong team for this year, and they're really excited about what they can do in this series.
Nissa picking up some spots on a 3-wide pass. Trying to recover what she has lost.
Russ Blackwell got a huge run on the
Wow,
outside.
look at this. And it's going to be 3 wide yet again. This time Brendan Burke will be on the inside. Ooh, he got arrow tight there. He almost made contact again with the 84 car.
Yeah, Berg's making his presence known, trying to make up some spots. Back to where he started now in that 17th spot.
Brent Cruz, Trackhouse Racing now right to the inside of Anissa Johnson. The 3 wide right behind her. That is Russ Blackwell is just dropping back right now.
And Mr. DeYoung is also back here. Some issues on the 88 car. Saw that Mitchell was running in 12th earlier. He's lost 10 spots since the start of the race.
And those AlphaTauri cars are good. And Douglas right behind. 3 wide. Back towards the front of the field.
We go race in front of Cody Erickson. Still behind his teammate now at Patway. It's still Austin Yoakum at front. And we see his teammate Dylan Touch in the 20 car here.
And he just got passed by John West Art, moving into the 9th position. And it looks like he's going to try and challenge him on the outside. Thor Gunderson right behind it. Going to try and sneak in right here with Jack Wood, 24 car, Reckless Racing.
There's a lot of Chevys grouped together here.
Oh, yeah. Chevy definitely brought some good engines to this series to start the year out.
The top 6 right now is 3 Toyotas, 3 Chevys.
Don't forget Adam. He's just right here. He's riding right in the back of this little pack.
Yeah, they're just trying to get the bearings on the program.
Brand new team. Whole separate shop. Drivers may have been here for a while, but everything here is new. It's a good slide up on it, but a crossover immediately from Touchton. Approaching 20 to go.
Hayes is still trying to hold off Ericsson. The John Lewis Arndt was able to hold on to that 9th position.
Trying to catch up to Spire's Pietro. And he's trailing behind the 7th place of Rick Johnson.
Yeah, it looks like they're just content to ride and learn right now.
And everything is new. It's hot. I'm sure the drivers are tired.
There really is no surprise to see Joachim do so well. He's a driver that really should be in the Premier Series. Just hasn't had the opportunities that some other drivers have been afforded.
I think the more unfortunate part about him was when he was riding with Supreme, and that initial downfall really hurt that all the drivers that were in that team, and lost the sponsorship and then driver shuffle, and he definitely deserves a really good Premier Series ride, and he'll probably get one. He just needs to wait for a spot to open up in that Toyota program.
Of course, a long time ago, Austin Joachim was replaced in the 15 car by Buddy Dean Smith, the Ream Water Heaters car. It's really fitting to see Ream sponsoring him again.
Didn't touch it, but Jack Wood just broke into the top 10, passing John West Arndt, who was starting to fall a little bit as Touchton moves back around him for the 11th spot. And Adam trying to do some recovery work here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the 05 car just used up their tires.
It's possible.
I mean, it's the first race back for a lot of these guys, so.
Thor tightening the gap.
And these cars are so close together, but they're not really able to make a move.
So they're close in times and everything, but the problem with that, they're being so precise and so consistent with this, is we're only seeing the gap from their lap differences here. So
Now we're done. What's happened to him? He's on pit road.
pit road.
But they're in a worse performing car, so.
We shall see what goes on with him. He had a 15.18 second pit stop. We shall see the other drivers follow suit with this.
Thor has repassed Jack Wood for the 9th position.
Jack Wood having a good start here, trying to get a top 10 in his first run out.
We've seen some pretty strong debuts out of drivers from the Reckless Racing stable.
Another driver taking to pit road, Carson Scott.
I don't understand why they didn't just pit it halfway.
I don't either. They would have been good to the end. They could have done this whole portion on fresh tires. So I guess we'll see how everything cycles. Be interesting to see.
Yeah, and then it's going to matter when the leaders pit and who pits first.
And who can try and stay out.
Yeah, because I mean, if you know you can't make it to the end, just come down. Because even if you have 1 or 2 laps pitting before the leader, you're going to have just that much time to gain on them.
Right. And relative to the other pit stop, which was a 15-second one, Carson's was a 16.3. So pit crew definitely always matters. As we see Noah trying to make a move on Cannon.
No, now it's coming down. He's coming to pit road.
Yep, that is indeed our first leader coming down pit road.
Yoakum's coming down pit road too.
Yep, Brad Smith, everybody is. We get to see now who has the faster pit stops.
And who decides to go the distance.
Crucial green flag pit stops now underway. See the race off pit road.
It's going to matter on whether or not the 9 car can have a faster stop than the 4.
It really will. That can make all the difference on track.
Yeah, but now he's got Anissa Johnson's crew right in front of him. He's going to need a tighter exit, whereas the 4 car can just leave.
Austin had a great one. It was a 15.02 for the 9 car, but a 14.9 for Austin Yoakum. That pit crew just capitalized on him, and that will help him with maintaining the lead for this race. Great job by his pit crew.
Thor Gunderson's the current leader. He's taking a lower trajectory. He might be coming in this time. Yeah, it looks like he is.
Thor coming on in. This will shuffle in if he stays out again. JGL's Mike Wallace to the lead if he elects to not come down pit road.
He's coming down.
Yep, sure is. And the only other cars on track then are the Rickway Racing cars.
The 52's coming down
Yep.
this time.
And I believe that means also James Davison will be following suit. And that means pit cycles are done.
The 5 car might come out in second. That's going to be one to watch.
Wow, what a huge lead. Now 2 seconds and gaining for Austin Yoakum.
Yeah, so Ericsson's going to be able to come out in the 3rd spot, and then he's going to have his teammate Brad Smith behind him. Smith's going to try to make an overtake here to see which of the AlphaTauris they can get onto the podium position. It's Cody Ericsson's first time in FARCA. Brad Smith, of course, has been around for a while, racing here and there.
Veteran driver making the move on his rookie teammate, holds him up to the outside, forces him out of that racing groove, and that will be an easy pass by the veteran driver.
Jeff Cannon is now running in the 5th position. Rick Johnson in 6th. Now Pat Wary has fallen to 7th place now.
This round of pit stops allowed John to move back into the top 10. He's now running in the 8th position behind Noah.
So 4 has the freshest tires and is in 9th place. The 05 gets around the 9 pretty easily.
I think Noah has a problem. Might have a tire loose or a little vibration. Something disrupting those new tires.
Yeah, he certainly lost a lot of ground to the 1 car. Kind of chasing it up the racetrack right now.
Already, yeah, look at this. Thor's going to try to make a move here on the outside now.
And the 9 car is certainly in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah.
Ben is not going to like that watching this race.
Well, at least the 24 car still has an opportunity of getting into the top 10. And it looks like he's going to split between the Spire car and his teammate to make 2 passes. Very good move by Jack. But yeah, there's definitely a problem as nobody falls out of the top 10.
Yeah, Yoakum has got this in the bag.
Yeah, there's a near 3-second lead. He's catching the lap traffic of James Davidson and Bailey Curley too, at a staggering pace.
So as the race runs right now, 5 laps to go. It's Yoakum, Reyes, Brad Smith, Cody Erickson, Rick Johnson, Jeff Cannon, John Wes Arndt, Thor Gunderson, Jack Wood, and Pietro Fittipaldi, your top 10.
Rick Johnson, stellar recovering with this pit strategy. Now he is in the top 5. This is the first time he's been in the top 5 today. So great job for the Dutch Brothers racing team there.
So the 43 car of Alfred Dunn used pit strategy to undercut the Rick Ware cars. We saw how long they stayed out 43 is now ahead of both of them. Kind of back markers racing each other.
Look here at Yoakum. See just how fast this car is. Watch him going down the straightaway. Look at your bottom right corner of your screen. He's going to be entering this corner 180 miles an hour compared to James Davidson, last place. Keep an eye on his speed as we enter in the turns 3 and 4. And remember that Yoakum going 180, a 3 mile per hour difference in these cars. And that's just in the straightaways, not accounting for the cornering speed. Yoakum's car is fast as he is approaching this lap traffic. 2 laps to go.
So John Arndt's now up to the 7th spot with Thor right behind him.
JGL Racing, really close to a top 10 today. Kyle Fowler running in the 11th spot, gained 7 positions today. Trackhouse's Brent Cruz right behind him in a recovered car. 10 spots he gained.
So the final lap is now upon us as Yoakum puts a couple cars lap down.
Both of the Rick Ware Racing cars will be the only cars to go a lap down tonight.
It's the first VPS race, and of course the first time out of the Truck Series for iReal Motorsports. And Austin Yoakum is going to take it to victory for Brett Pritchard.
Brett said he came here to win, and he wanted cars that would allow him to win, and that's why he left the partnership with Meyer Toyota Racing. And he puts their first race in the Valvoline Pro Series car in victory lane. Austin Yoakum secures the victory.
And they would have liked to have both cars in the top 10, but just Touchton having some issues throughout the race. Saw him to make a resurgence to the top 10, but he fell out of it. So that 20 car will finish 16th spot. But certainly they're going to be really happy to at least have one car in the top 10, winning at that.
And driver of the day, John Wessart. 14 positions gained to finish 7th after starting 21st. Great job for that 05 car. They've got a good organization. They clearly have some good teammates, and I could see this team getting some wins this year.
Yeah, RPM is very serious about becoming one of the teams to beat in every series.
And after being in the mid-20s, Aaron Douglas finished his 15th. Ended up actually gaining his positions after originally he was not going to. One last little hats off. Spire, top 10 for their first race out with Pietro. Not a bad one. Alright, and that will end us out. Homestead, Miami Speedway. First race done of the season. Valvoline Pro Series, the return has now concluded. Fantastic finish for Austin Yoakum.
We look forward to see what the rest of the season has in total, and if they get everyone for tuning in. Just race 1 of 20. It's going to be a long road ahead.
Tomorrow, the Premier Series will be on the similar time before we go to next week's track. Five Flag Speedway, where all 3 series will compete and run in the daytime. So, halfway into the weekend, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.